Too many leaders lead for validation, not impact, for what they can get out of it more than what they can give to it. Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm obsessed with how leaders grow and develop, and I too have insecure moments. We all do. Glad you're here with me now on the Sight Shift podcast so you can learn how to lead for impact, not validation. Too many leaders lead for validation, not impact. Me too. What's changed my life is to recognize when I'm leading for validation, not impact, and then how to shift into leading for impact. And I want to help you do the same in this journey. Welcome to part 1, Lead for Impact. Why psychological safety, empathy, and mindfulness are keeping you from building healthy leaders. Now I'm going to unpack all that, and we're going to look at this over the course of a 10-part journey. But as we look at this over a course of a 10-part journey, we're going to look at the end in mind. We want to be the kind of leader who becomes who we're meant to be as leaders, and we develop other leaders who build leaders. And if we can define that as the end game, then we're going to be able to reverse engineer this so that I can show you from front end to back end how to lead for impact. I still struggle. There are moments I still lead for my own validation, but I can recognize it and I can train myself and I can participate with what's happening around me in such a way that I keep getting better as a leader. And that's what I want to help you do. It doesn't feel good to lead for your own validation. You get yourself wrapped up in what you're doing so that you actually end up trying to get more out of the venture of leadership than what you give to it. What would you be wanting to get from it? Any number of things, and we're going to go through this in a very deep way that you're going to understand how it's shaping your mindset, how it's shaping the skills that you want to build, and how it's shaping the tool set of what you're bringing to the table as a leader. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to get from leadership more than give to it when we are leading for validation is something that we have to learn to get in a different way. We have to get that for ourselves internally before we publicly try to get it from our leadership roles. Now, this is a super deep concept, and I look forward to breaking it down and walking through this. All the stones we're going to turn over in this journey together, all the ideas you're going to get, all the insights you're going to get, you're going to have the deepest understanding you've ever had about yourself, because it's going to require a deep knowledge of self so that you can bring who you are to leadership in a healthy way, so that you can know why you're there and that you can really know where you are and what you need to do next. What we've seen, if we look at just like a survey of people who have been influential in this conversation around leadership development, the same percentage points, roughly speaking, about 2 to 3% of adults ever get to a point that they're able to lead for, in my words, impact rather than validation. Everything from Jim Collins, business strategist, who talks about so few adults ever get to the place that they're really lasered in on their mission, that there's a sense of clarity in what they are to do and how they can maximize their impact, all the way to Robert Keegan. Robert Keegan's an adult development specialist, retired from Harvard, did the longest study ever on how adults develop and grow, and found that only a few percentage of adults get to a place beyond how they think they should behave, how they were ingrained in the way that they were raised, the worldviews that they were brought up in. This shapes so much of them, how so few adults actually get to a place that they willingly discover and know who they are and how to lead from that place. For some of you, how you were brought up or raised at home or in leadership could have been good or bad. All of it played into who you are. All your experiences, your genetics, and everything combined. That age-old conversation of nature and nurture. None of that is a hindrance to you becoming the leader you were meant to be. It doesn't have to be something that's based on genetics. You either have it or you don't. And it doesn't have to be something that's based on nature. Well, sorry you got that bad luck in how you were brought up in the world, or your first leadership experiences. Or, hey, you got this advantage no one else got. No, for all of us, we're going to level set the field so that you can find the way forward. And I'm so excited to take you on this journey because it's changed my life, and it continues to change my life, and it changes the lives of those that we work with. So as we dive into this process, you're going to figure out so much about yourself and then how you can bring impact to the world around you. And that's going to be more needed than ever. We are going to see how so much of what's happening right now, culturally, in narratives, in HR, are really keeping us from building leaders who build leaders. It's keeping us from building leaders who become these kinds of influential leaders of impact. you're going to find a way forward through all the crazy right now. You're going to learn how to not get swept up into ideologies, not to get distracted by whatever is an in vogue idea that keeps you from being that leader of impact. We're going to see that all the partisanship, whether it's the stuff that's happening in the team dysfunction, the challenge that's happening in your organization, or the culture at large, provides an opportunity for us not to be afraid, but to build leaders who build leaders. So I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to take this journey with you. And as we go to part 2, we're going to dive into what is the real problem that's causing us to lead for validation, not impact. Thanks for joining me on this episode. There's always more for you at SightShift, SIGHT, shift.com to be the leader you were meant to be.